Well, hello everyone and welcome all my friends, crafters, subscribers and the guests. This is Jurgita and I've come to talk to you about all the stuff that I've finished in 2024. And I have a lot of, well, not a lot, but the majority of the things are not a ginormous size, because if you've been following me throughout these years, you know that I do all kinds of different variety of things, and some of them like BAPs, full coverages, some are tiny. And in 2024, I had a lot of new starts, as was my plan, and some of those starts were totally different crafting, not like a cross stitch related, but they were specialty stitches involved, some things that I've never done before and I tried first time, or I've done a long time ago, and that was many years back, like hardanger, and I've decided to go back into it. So I have my handy dandy little notebooks that's for 2 years, 24 and 25. So that's where I write down all the things that I'm planning to do, all my lists of projects, and I have a monthly things that I can write just in my month. So I write down which projects I'm working on, and if it's finished at the end of the notebook, I write down all the finishes. So what can I say about 2024? It was a year of different things, different tries, and I'm very happy to say that I like this new idea of trying something different, although time is not my friend because I wanted to try even more and didn't get a chance to do it because I had so many cross-stitch still projects to do. So I've decided to continue throughout the future to try something new, and who knows, maybe I'll love it even more. But I think cross stitch or just the stitching so far will be my number one hobby. And I had for 2024 just show you like my whip list from 23 was this, and all of this I had something new to try out, like different, I had a list of 12 different embroidery and crafts projects that I want to try. I did, I think, 10 possibly of them. Also a bunch of possible new starts that I did pretty much all of them. And I wanted to do a lot of new starts from magazines because I have a lot of magazines, and I thought I should start going through them and stitching what I wanted and pass it along to somebody else. So that also was great in my plans, because for 2025, I had 45 regular kind of whips left, and about 7 of different craft styles and embroidery and non-embroidery things left to do. So I think I did pretty well. I can pat myself on the back. And let's see, what else was big in 2024? My eldest son got married. So one of the projects that I don't have with me, it was like a wedding Biscorno that I stitched for his wedding, because his bride to be picked a design. When I showed, she said, yeah, I'd love that. And they used that as a ring bearer's pillow, and we kept it by the cake table. So that was a huge thing. It was preparing for the wedding. And my youngest graduated middle school, so we had a slight graduation then. So those were 2 big things that happened last year. And maybe I'm forgetting, seems like it was many, many years ago. We took the family vacation, which we haven't done in a long time, to with the new family member already. We sat down and we voted where all of us would want to go, and the kids mostly decided that they want to check out the west coast of US, and we went for 7 or 10 days to Seattle area, and we rented Airbnb, and pretty much traveled the whole time. We had the rental car, but it's hard to find parking space because we got ginormous looking like a bus tank car at the airport, and it's hard to find the parking space for that size. So we would go to the sort of like a metro, and we take a little light train to downtown, and then we spend the whole day. We took I think I've done a little bit in my monthly videos. We took a boat to Bremerton and saw ships there. We went to the Needle. We did the underground tour, which is great, amazing. Lots of places. We went both whale watching, and we saw not only whales, but all kinds of other water creatures in there. And it was full packed all those days, and we were tired afterwards, but full of experience, and it left a great impact on everybody's hearts and lives, and everybody loved it there. Especially when we had to come back in like 100 plus degrees temperature. That's typical in here, Midwest kind of. So yeah, those were the biggest things that happened 2024. I also went, like always I try to do, to St. Louis Needlework Galleria, or I should say St. Charles, and I took a couple classes and learned couple new techniques in there. And I have a separate video for Galleria, so if you haven't seen it, check it out. I'll put the link below. And let's see what I have actually finished, because I have a separate video on 2025 plans, and I did several parts of like a whip parade, although I think I lost my third part somewhere. When I put the video, I think it got erased, all those recordings, so I'm not sure if I can remake it or what, but I had to do in 3 parts. So something, my phone was having trouble with moving video files into the computer. So with some glitch, it just got a bunch of that stuff erased, like a whole folder. But at least, hopefully, it will be good now. And I want to share with you all those things that I finished, and or together, like FFO some things. So first thing, in January of 24, I FFO'd, because I think I had everything finished. I have my extras in here sitting next to me to show. So it was Oakley Owlet by Just Nan, and I FFO'd, and this is just on a little paper, so I'll show a little video a little bit closer how it looks. So it's first time making such a little creature, putting together. So I stitched this one, everything was included in the kit when I got the pattern, and paper and all the extras and beads. Hardest thing I had to do is like attach the front, like a head, fold it and attach the eyes and secure it all. But other than that, it was very fun, cute little thing to do, although you would think it's such a small thing and you could do super fast, but there's back stitching, there's a beading involved, and it took a little bit longer than I expected to stitch, and I was trying very carefully to FFO it, to sew it up correctly. But I think I stuffed it well enough. It's not super stuffy, but it's not super soft. So I think it's just enough kind of to do. And that was my very first of those little creatures, I think, ever of Just Nan. And I have several of them stitched now, and some more I have to stitch, like an unfinished pattern. So that was my first project that I did. Then I did hands-on design, stitching by the sea pincushion. And again, it was my first time making something like this. I went to the local, what was that, quilting shop. Well, not very local, but I had to travel, of course. And I got something slightly different than what was suggested. I did not get like a real wool felting. I just got the regular wool felting to match, and just used it. Got some rickrack because I love the turquoise color. I was born by the sea, so I thought that would be great as my first hands-on design to do this. So it comes with two parts. One is this basket that says "Stitching by the Sea is where I long to be," and I used all the instructions that was provided, and I found a similar matching felt, regular felt, and rickrack type thing, and I sewed it up by hand. So very cute, and I think I put it all together well enough to trying out. And another thing was this little pincushion square, just with little houses and birds, and of course like a little water waves and a little goldfish kind of on the bottom, and sand dollars in here. So I did not overstuff it again, so I don't have it very like a straight square edges in here, but I think it's cushiony enough to sit in. I put a little bit of like a stuffing to hold it together just like that. So I had like a pins put in there, so I keep it by my desk in front of my computer, where I stitch and watch all kinds of Flosstube videos and other shows. And this is always in front of me when I miss the sound of water. At least I can look at that thing. So that one was FFO'd on the 16th as a pincushion. Number 3 was also FFOing things. So in the beginning, I really had that urge to get something fully done, and I did Gingerbread Santa Mouse also by Just Nan at the end of January. So here's very cute little mouse, tiny, as you can see. And again, it also came with, I think I lost, no, I did not lose. It also comes with a little, like a bag in here. And I lost a pin somewhere that was stuck. So used everything that was included, including the bottom of it. But I did not do a very good job of gathering it up, because my threads in the bottom got a little bit looser once you gather the bottom. But I stuffed it, I think, well enough. And I don't know what else to say. I might have glued a little hat. I now don't even remember to keep it secure. But this is what it looks like. Tiny gingerbread mouse. And was very happy. And it sits there with my little bitty minis in there. Then I finally FFO'd a scarf slide. Oh gosh, no, what's a designer? Lovely lady, always would chat when I would go at a galleria. And I got this scarf slide, and it was everything included, also like a metal slide, and I had to just sew it up. Inside is a plain linen fabric, and it's a very simple design. The charm was included, very cute little butterfly in here. Had a little bit harder time to sew up inside fabric. It's a little bit bunched up, but I think as the first time doing something like this, it went, I think, fairly well for this. So another FFO, and when you put the scarf, you can just slide through and both sides, and something homemade, handmade is done in there. So I'll try to put a list of all the designers that I've done in my comments area. Then I stitched, but I did not FFO. Let's see, let me get, where is, it's called Roberta Doll. I have collection of patterns for the doll, and I was so excited that at the Galleria she had her dolls with the patterns, like actual what were the porcelain, like half dolls available in there. So I bought quite a few of them and just gather up. But I did only stitch the skirt, and I need to FFO. And this is what the skirt looks like, very sparkly, very shiny, and I gather up the threads that was suggested. And the thread dyer was also at a gallery, so I was able to get stock up for other dolls. So, and I just need to gather myself and learn how to do dolls. Lady that was had those dolls for selling at the Galleria, and she had some of her stuff there at the same room. She was doing the class actually how to put together dolls, but I had a different class at that time, I think, so I couldn't sign up for that class. But anyway, this is beautiful, like a bluish changing color of hand-dyed floss. So that was my first doll's skirt done. Just I need to learn how to FFO it finally. Get it all together. I have all the stuff. And I did that already in February. Next was my wedding Biscornos. So I'll try to like put in a picture or videos what they look like. And I was debating like to make another set perhaps for another kid's maybe future wedding, but decided not to because they might not want to. And I was very happy that they actually used those little Biscornos. It was fun to stitch, beautiful colors. It was first time making Biscornos, so I was a little nervous. I was a little nervous to put together, but I watched all kinds of videos that I could find online and just follow instructions, what's written. And actually it was not that scary after all once I started doing that. So that taught me that keep going, keep trying, and everything will turn out great. So were there 3 Biscornos in different sizes for that, and I count that as a one piece to finish. So that was also in February. Another thing in that same month was something that I did some changes, and I call it Happy Easter. And I've changed the fabric because it came as a bigger fabric count than I wanted to use. So I did sort of like an experiment, and it was by Oven. I think they're a Russian company. And this is Happy Easter. So I did in half the size practically and over 1. So there's some changes need to be done because there were supposed to be some blends, and I was doing or like a bottom stitch in one color, a top on another, I don't remember, but as you can see, there's also back stitching involved. So compare with me, this could be as a tiny little pillow now, and I tried to do as one of the first changes, like trying out something totally different, and I think it turned out fairly good. And I've been trying to put my like initials and the year it was finished somewhere in the design. So I have a tiny bit in here written down, so hopefully it's not like standing out, but this encourages me also to do some more changes in the patterns and trying out, especially minimizing the sizes, because I don't want to put everything up on the walls, and I would run out of wall space, probably in the whole house. By the time I'm done framing everything, so I'm trying to minimize in the sizing. So that was another little thing that I've finished. You just need to figure out how to FFO. Let's see, what's next? Okay, now we're in the month of March, and I did another little squarish sort of thing, but it's, well, not little, but it's much bigger. And it's again by Hands-On Design. So if you haven't noticed, I love coffee, and when we were in Seattle, I made a mission to actually go to Starbucks Reserve Place, like a first place they opened up, and my daughter and daughter-in-law tagged along. So I was very happy that they actually decided to join me, and we spent a nice day there trying out different coffees and drinks. So I've done this giant pin cushion. I could have stuffed it, I guess, a little bit more, but I didn't want to overdo it. And when I got the pattern, I also got pins for that has a coffee in there, and it says Java. And it had this little wool felt on the top included. So I loved stitching. It took me a while, I think, to stitch, because as you can see, it's a pretty big size. There's nothing on the bottom that was designed to stitch. It was put together differently than other ones. Just had to work in here. But on the bottom, I've decided to put in, stitch in my initials and the year, like a tiny light blue color. So I have something with coffee, and it also sits in front of me when I enjoy my cup of coffee. I think I had several cups already today, so I just need to remember to slow down and not rush in talking, because I'm excited to share with you guys all the fun stuff that I've done throughout the year. And I usually just run through the facts and don't stick around with each project to say how fun it was to work on, or what changes I've done, or any other statistics like how many days or hours or stitches it took to stitch something. I probably talked about all of that when I was finishing stitching them, and you can probably find that in my monthly videos that I try to do. So main thing was for me in here to match the steam coming up from the coffee to the top of that. So this is my Java. Let's see where to put it next. Then another FFO got done also in the month of March, and that was Bunny Bucket from a Rustic series. And I got several designs and the buckets from the same designer that I did my scarf slide. And I had like these rustic buckets from her that looks really rusty, but actually it's not. It's painted like this to look rusty. And I've done this, but somehow forgot that it was with Weeks Dye Works threads, and I started washing it, and some of my like a burgundish color a little bit leaked in there. So I tried to soak it off as much as possible. I went in the same quilting shop and got the plastic that was used for the inside to tighten, to hold the shape for the wrap itself. And the twine I just got from some local craft shop also, and sewed up with a similar color, brownish color, so it would not be as visible. And I also even initialed in here under bunnies, so it's very, very tiny. You probably can't even see it, but I finished. That was my first, I think, of the bucket series that I was very nervous, because you know how you put together, how the meets ends will meet or not, and too much or not. So want to make sure that it all turns out well. And when Easter time comes, I can put stuff in there. But right now it kind of keeps my like a pens and the markers, everything like that in those buckets on my desk. Okay, then I had in April, my biggest project was finished. So let me bring it out. And I finished that in April 22nd. And it's something that you probably recognize, especially if you've been watching my videos. And I just wanted to show you with me. I stitched this on, is that 16 or 18 count Ada? It's called Beloved. In beginning, I started this by having inner designs on the 14 count. I was doing half stitches, and I even got a 14 count Ada, dyed myself kind of grayish color to match. And I already had like a full first row done that I do like a 50 down and started the next one. And I was stitching it so slow that I figured out by the time I'll finish it, we might move into a smaller house or something, and I can't have giant wall space for it. So I had this pattern redone for me by another designer, so it would make it smaller, so it used the blends in there too. But this is my beloved couple, and I have another couple also kind of black and white-ish color waiting for me to be stitched, but I wanted to show you like with my size, so it's kind of same size became as me, like a, so I love it. And at first I thought also, I can't remember who was stitching, Tina Stitches, I think, that I think she got rid of her pointy elf ears, and I thought about it too, but when I've decided just leave it as is because it's more otherworldly. But this was my biggest finish of the year, and I also signed in here, so that's how it went. So I'm very happy, and I think I already have like a frame picked for her. It just I need to cut them in different sizes. I like to go thrifting for bigger frames and then try to match with the designs, so I can do that. Let's see. So very excited. Took me a long time to stitch this, but I was determined to finish it that year, so I was going through this design and I loved stitching it. Let's see. So I don't lost. Number 11. So this was also just FFOing, because I finished it stitching way before and decided to like, how can I FFO it? And I need to pause and move the stuff around. Okay, so I finished this and I was trying to figure out how I can FFO it, and this project was halfway my imagination kind of putting together, because I tried to find and contact designer a little back, and her name was Olga Mamayeva, and what as a picture looked like, it was slightly different as it was marked in the pattern. So I just did some changes, and there was some little sort of like unfinished pattern or something like that, because parts were not even missing, and it's out of like a different area, so you can like expand and make it bigger and bigger if you want it. But I changed then some of the threads and the beads what I wanted. Then I inherited some of like a trace from my mother-in-law when she passed away, and I put this together next to it, and I thought it was made just for it. So the trace are well known in the stitcher's world. I just don't remember what it's called, but here it is. And it fit in the hole kind of like perfectly right to the edges. So I thought that's a sign to have this project put in. It's under glass. Beads are tiny bit squished, but I think it all looks good. And I even have a little imperfection because I added one thread in one side, so can't tell. My light went out, of course, so you can't tell which side is a little bit longer by one stitch, but I thought that was just perfect for this piece and it was waiting for it, so I just slid it in. It was stitched on like a plasticky type mono canvas, and I think that it turned out very well. And I put all my little use it as a stitch tray for my different kinds of stitch pieces if I need to, and I can carry it around, so it's been used quite a bit. So that was called Semiramis Garden, and I FFO'd it in May. Now let's see, there was something that I started, like I said, at the Galleria a couple classes, and one of them was this class that I came home and very quickly afterwards finished. And it's this fob, made everything out of beads. So it was totally new technique to me, and it's just so fun to run fingers through because those beads are not like a regular, I think it's a Toho beads because they're a little bit more squared off. So they go well for this kind of designs. I picked this design from different kits that were available at the class. And I had about 2/3 of the main part done in the class, and then I finished it. And at home was fun to stitch, really fun, and then all those extra like hanging things were done at the very end. In beginning it was a little bit harder. Once you start getting like a couple of rows, and then it was kind of easier to go and just follow the pattern just like a stitching. But I love the color variations that go with the sunset, so that's great. And I wanted my first fob like this beaded project to be something about the sea, so here it is. So that was my beaded sail fob. I finished in September. Cars that keep driving by, kind of distracting me. Now next was, where did I put it? Need to find it. So next one I finished, but it took me a bit to FFO, which was later in the year. And it's called Starry Santa. It was a kit I got through the Facebook Marketplace. That it came with everything, like backing, the locks in here. It took me a bit to figure out how to use those. It came with the mat, and the only thing it was to stitch the middle part. I've done some as my like a travel purse kind of project. Needed to make sure that it fits inside the box nicely, doesn't move around. And as with some of the older dimensions kits, red color actually ran a little bit, so it did not, maybe I should have soaked way more, but I guess I was too eager to put it as a FFO project. So, but this can sit anywhere, like on a table or something like that, like you can lean against it or a frame, but it holds just like that. So that was my Starry Santa, and I stitched it and FFO'd in the same year, which usually doesn't happen that much often. Then I stitched something that is part of series. I guess I like series because I keep stitching them. But previous year I've done Mirabilia Nora Corbett's Santa sleigh, and then I thought I should also continue stitching all the reindeer that in the series. So as the first one, of course, I went with Rudolph, and I don't know why, but the fabric is very hard to iron out from a folds, and I haven't washed, by the way, any of my pieces here, most of it, and that's why it's same with this one. But my Rudolph, I somehow lost one of the treasures, and I had to then wait and get another package to put it in for the beads. But my first in the series is done, so you can kind of see the sparkle in that. I did everything as instructed with whisper white thread. I think I talked in my monthly videos when I was stitching it how I was using like this sparkly thread. I think I used only one instead of two because it would have been way too hard to do it. So there were some silks involved, and loved all the sparkles that come with it. You can kind of see a little bit of that. So I'll be continuing. Maybe I'll be able to do once a year one of them. So it's going to be a bit before I finish all of them, I guess. But that's what it is. And maybe then I'll do the like framing or FFOing all of them together. I'm not sure. But this was my first in the whole series. Well, second if you count Santa's sleigh. Then I did stitch, which was my second time stitching same thing, because first time I stitched was gifted also to a friend, and I had the frame also from Mill Hill, and it's Cappuccino because yeah, coffee. The only thing is left is I'm trying to figure out what kind of button I want to put in, if I want to do the same type of heart or not. Just did that on the fabric. The first time I did was as it was suggested and given perforated paper and everything by the book. But for this one, I changed it, and I think this is 28 count fabric, and loved it how it turned out. So what I like is how beads are attached, because like on the side here, the same beads attached but with a different fabric. I was following instructions instead of like using invisible thread. I was using the DMC thread, the thread that was in there, and it gave slight shade to the beads themselves, so especially if it's a little bit more see-through. So it gave a different shade for the bead because of the threads I was using. One was a lighter shade, one was darker shade. But the cappuccino is done. I know there's in a series, there's latte and mocha thing, but I like cappuccino the most. Although I'm dairy intolerant now, so I can't have too much even of this, and latte has way more milky stuff in there. But there's sparkly beads and all kinds of stuff. So that was my finish, and I even signed it in here. So I'm like, I don't see where I signed it. So that was my cappuccino. Then something that I stitched but I did not finish. Where is it? Come back here. There you go. And again, it was from the magazine, and that was called Jake the Snowman. And I stitched all the parts. I just need to put it together because I need to get like a ribbons, and parts are like this. It's kind of harder to see, but it's going to be like a 3D looking guy, and it's going to hold like little things in it that you can see, kind of like a specialty stitching was done. I know it's kind of light on the light, so I'll have to cut them all out, put it together back to back, hanging little ornaments and the earmuffs. So it's going to be a little snowman. Here is it, like a main body part is this one. So need to just get it all together. I was trying to find a little ribbon that would be countryside. I found the buttons that I liked, itty bitty buttons, and I just need to now FFO it. That one, let's see, Rudolph, Cappuccino, and Jake was finished in October. Now we're in November, and one of the things that I could have finished way earlier, but I ran out of a certain Krynic thread and needed to hunt for it and found it. And another thing was from a magazine. A designer is Janelle Geese from January of 2013 magazine, which is called Cross Stitch and Needlework. I stitched this on a 28 count T-dye Monaco, stitch count 72 by 118 because I have a little tag still attached. And here's Leonardo Noel, and it was also some like rushed design printed because there was some hard to see. I don't know, it was not enough instructions how to do some of the borders. I'll show it a bit earlier. So some things I had to figure out myself, but there's lots of different like harder work. I think it would be like almost probably if marked 5 stars for a hard how to figure out hardness, but lots of back stitching, like a black work type, all framing. But I thought it was unique enough to do it, and just a little bit was left to do around the border with the Krynic. So once I got it, I just jumped and finished this. So that will become framed most likely and come out for the next new year. But it's very, very cute and sparkly. So that was Leonardo. Okay, next is one of the things I'm gonna make 3 of them. And it's by Lizzie Kate. It's called Promise Me. It took me a while to figure out what count fabric I want. I thought about making it like half the size also, but then figured out maybe I'll do the framing instead. So there are some changes I made, and I've talked about them while stitching it. So you can check it out what I've changed. Some of the things I used as instructed, but to change some of the colors. I love how this little bluebird turned out. Very colorful, beautiful color. So happy how it turned out. But I thought it's such a meaningful saying that I'll stitch them 3 times. So that was Promise Me by Lizzie Kate. And that one was also done in November. A couple more things I finished in November. So one, again, I went to the like a crafty fabric stores and I got fabrics, and then I just went to the ballpark to do FFOing some of my ornaments. If you remember, I did like a 12 dragon ornaments that we were given pattern once a month, and we have to stitch them. I didn't know what kind it will turn out, but that's what it was, and I loved it. I did also in December a couple of ornaments and some in November, so I keep them like in here. And I don't remember which I FFO'd when, because I finished stitching. It's just I needed to figure out how I want FFO, what kind of backing fabric, what kind of like go around I wanted to do. So, and then I had to figure out which month is which, because some of them were very similar. So this was December, and I had this kind of pretty fabric. I still need to figure out how I want to do the hanging. I might just do the loop in here, but right now they're just sitting in there, and I found how to do the bead, changing beads all around, very sparkly. So I was hunting for beads and fabric at the stores and trying to figure out, couple of them I asked for kids' opinions, and they helped me choose. So this one, it was in November. November guy, he's like painting or like nailing the stars in the sky, and slightly different kind of beads around, and the fabric I tried to match kind of more silver, not gold in here. So that was November. July was hard to figure out how to like FFO it, so I thought I would go with like a white pearls and like a sea color tiny beads, and then I found this backing fabric like batik more, so that kind of reminded me of like water and bubbles. So that was July, and I was showing you how I did because they're all a little bit poofy, so it took a while for me to FFO them because I was covering different like a cardboard, those acid-free cardboards. I was covering with putting first not the stuffing, but like you cut off parts of it, what do you call, like a roll of it, and then I was covering with the fabric, tightening it up, and then I had to put it all together and then sew all those beads. So it took me a while to do it. So this is June. I had to go back and look which dragon is for which. So for this one, I thought I would go where the grass is with the greenish color, and with the bubbles, I found these beads. So very cute. And the back is like this. I wrote on the paper which is month and when. So I can pull them out each month and hang it like a little ornament hanging throughout the whole year. So that was cute, bubbly June. Then April was kind of Eastery. This pink cute dragon, and it's without the beads. I got this kind of ribbon when one of the craft stores was going out of business. So this is like, would be like a baby colors, but I thought that would go well. And back was like those birds. I thought like would be nice color matching, and same color, kind of color as this pink dragon. So that was April. I had August. Try figure out which beads to use, but it's also sparkly. And then I was trying to kind of match backing fabric with the butterflies, because butterflies is also this dragon is trying to catch. So that what is for August. I think I FFO'd all of them in 2024. This one I still need to figure out which month it is, but went with the gold and purple kind of beads all around, and I found sort of like more neutral fabric that also has the yellow colors coming out from the front. So that I need to figure out which month it is, and I tighten it so much that the front is not very poofy. Let's see, this one, maybe it's January, I'm not sure yet, but Sleeping Dragon with the stars, and I thought the shiny stuff could go well with this silvery night sky. Although those stars are gold, I was trying to find fabric that would have a gold stars for a fabric, but couldn't, and decided just to go with this. And this is May, little sailor, and again like a pearls in the water. And for a back, I found these anchors fabric, so that's what I went with. Then by just the color of the beads, you can figure out which month it is. So it's October. So black and orange, and then I picked the orange color witchy fabric for that, because of course the dragon is flying a witchy broom. And some of those things I started doing in one way, and then I looked that it was not how I wanted, so I had to take it all apart and start new. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe all 9 I've done in 2024. FFO, not sure, but my basket is there, so hopefully it was in all in the same time. So had a little bit busy with those, and sometimes cutting out the cardboard with scissors, nicer and even, and some of them needed to be a little bit adjusted. My hand was a little bit achy, so I had to pause in between. Then I've finished another thing that I started in at a Needlework Galleria, and the class that I took was my first punch needle class. I watched different videos before that, because I had for years, many years, like a punch needle, but it was different. It's igolochkoi, a Russian needle. So I got it 5 years ago in one of the events that used to be Spirit of Cross Stitch, perhaps. And that was different kind of needle. Now it evolved also, but I've never sat down and did it. So that's why I decided I should take a class. This way I'll be made to do it. And started this project at the Galleria. And I decided to just finish it at home. It was very easy to do, and just went and did it. So it's a star, and I just put it on a back board here. Need to trim the edges, but it was very interesting because I've been thinking of doing like rugs, hooks, and I have all the tools and stuff for years, but never tried. So it's something similar, but with the 6-strand DMC thread. And just was great, a little practice piece. I haven't figured out how I want to pretty up the backside, but at least now it's all done, and if need be, could be like a standing or hanging somewhere. This star. Another thing was like lollipop type thing, but I wanted to do in different colors and sharper edges in here, and just went at it. And I think as my first one, it got some threads in it. It went very well, because I know that some of them were struggling with either too tight in between the loops or not even. But I tried a different way, and you can kind of actually tell which way you were traveling by how the loops are sitting. So that kind of also was the learning point for me. So got the great tips from the teacher, and she usually always have one room near the elevator, all for punch needle, and she's one of the several places that carries like Works threads and hand-dyed wool fabric. So wool felt, I guess I should say. So it's always great to visit her shop. So that was the class that I took, and I finished in the year. So that was also November. Now we're into December. I stitched something from a magazine because I don't have enough. I love Halloween, and I don't have enough stuff for it. So I decided to stitch this. It's called Little Ghosty piece. Oh, you can see the size. I finished this stitching in mid-December. What else can I say? It was not very hard to stitch. There were some half stitches and lots of back stitching, as you can see. So Little Ghosty, I'm still trying to figure out how to FFO it. Should I make it a little pillow, or just like a giant ornament, or like try to do into like 3D shape? I haven't decided. So if you have any thoughts about it, that would be great. Put that in a comment. What would be your suggestions, especially if you've done this before? That was probably from the older magazines or something like that. I don't remember, but I thought it was very cute to work on. That was Little Ghosty. Then let's see, I did, where's Mrs.? I thought I marked it. Anyway, I was stitching one Thanksgiving. I started Mr. Delicious, and then this Thanksgiving I think Mrs. Delicious, or it's vice versa. I don't remember, but no, Mr. Delicious, I started on a Thanksgiving Day in 2023, and then it was waiting for a whole year for his wife, Mrs. Delicious. And I finished stitching because I started on the Thanksgiving to kind of like celebrate Thanksgiving. And both times, I believe we were traveling to my sister-in-law's. So I was trying to figure out how to FFO with them. And then I found that, I don't remember which craft store, maybe it's even dollar store, little frames. And I thought that would be perfect fit because I thought about making a pillow just like a designer did. Now, who's the designer? I can picture her face in her YouTube videos, but I can't remember now. So I found those little frames and I thought that's just perfect. I still need to paint it somehow or maybe stamp around it. But anyway, this is, let me show you side by side. Whoa, Mr. fell out. I did not, you can see I kind of, I always do like this method to finish around lacing. And I have not attached to the frame. So here are Mr. and Mrs. Delicious. So there's some few changes I've done for the thread colors, but overall it's pretty much similar. Of course, I chose my own fabric. I can't remember right now, but it's on my monthly videos. But here they are, and I thought this is like a plain back, unfinished like wood pieces. So they could sit side by side or back to back if they wanted. And I made them all like a little bit poofy. So I added some of those, where's my, let's try with my mister because it's easier to pop out. So you can see a little bit of poofiness. So I added a little bit height in the front, for the front, on my acid-free, like a mat. And try and figure out how I want to paint them. Of course, I could do all kinds of things with the frames here, but haven't decided. But at least they're just like sitting, so maybe they can be pulled out and put together just like that. And that's Mrs. Delicious. I stitched and finished like this and laced up in the back in 2024 December. So those are two guys. Then I had, let's see, did I finish FFO? Maybe some things I did not write in. I don't remember, but I think I've done some FFOing. I thought I was writing everything down, but I don't remember. But I had, oh, what's the designer's name? But I think I finished FFO'd this year. So I bought this hat like a frame before when I was buying the pattern for this, which is hat. It was cut out of this little bat in here. But I did differently for FFOing. I just used two different like a ribbon, satiny little ribbon cords, I guess, and just twisted them and just sewed in around my stitch piece. I had laced around the little cardboard piece itself, and I sewed in, I think with an perhaps even invisible thread, and then I used this I crisscrossed sparkly kind of ribbon. I glued it on the base, so you can kind of see a little bit of the sparkly in here. And that's how I FFO'd this piece, and I'm pretty sure I did it in 2024. You can kind of remember my daughter having a friend over for a sleepover, and I was showing them a couple possibilities of how FFO different ribbon or not, and they agreed with this black one. so it's not as much standing out, but gives a little bit of the like a sparkly in here for that. So that was FFO'd piece, and what I love about this that so JBW Designs, I think, or I can't remember the designer's name. Just she is also at a Galleria, but there's design inside. The hat shape is made up of all kinds of little creatures, and you can just stare at it and see which is boot and pumpkin and a cat and a crow and another cat, I think, the moon, all kinds of things in here, and birds. So it's lots and lots of fun. Usually I keep the stuff all in one place, but I don't remember now which is which. I think I did those two, just in case. I'm showing to you, just in case. I did from a magazine. It was with Ginger with the hat or something, and there's a lady also somewhere that I don't know where. And I just stitched on a plastic. Perforated plastic, and just got brown felt and glued on and cut out in the shape. So I got the Gingies, Mr. and Mrs. Gingy, I guess. And I'm pretty sure that I did this as a FFO in 2024 too. It's like a bah humbug. From a magazine. I did not write down the words, but I did this little like a 5-point little star. I used, I did over one. I don't remember if design was called over one. I think it's 25 count maybe fabric. See, I can't even remember. I used my own little beads for the ornaments, like hanging, and used the Whisper White for his little beard. So did some changes myself and made into this little sort of like a star pillow, and stuffed it well so you can see the thickness. Became like a pincushion pillow with a little more antique kind of fabric in the back. So this is that. I think it was FFO that year. I don't remember. And the last one on the New Year's Eve, I FFO this ball, my very first ball, but which does not look like a ball. I think the only problem I had, because it turned out that way, I would say, is because there were no exact lines for the sewing pattern, because it was open space. A lot of those balls, they are like almost like a full coverage, and then you know exactly what areas to match to sew it up. But this one I didn't, and I stuffed it like basketball. And it's by Ringa Z, and Snowman ball. So as you can see, it looks almost like a pumpkin. But like I said, you know, it was hard to figure out all those sewing lines. I guess I should have cut in a little bit more to sew it up, because I used the sewing machine to make it like football shape things, and then you before the last one you really push it inside out, that it was push out, and you gather up, because here is the bottom, all the snowflakes. So as you can see, there's nowhere to kind of figure out where it should go. I finished stitching in 2022, and it took me a while to figure out how to sew it up. And I know this is not the perfect look even to gather up this. I really was trying to attach this cord tightly to get it up, but as you can see, this slack part was stitched at the end, where everything had to be stuffed inside. And this is really hard shaped, but this giant bowl of ornament, my very first ornament like that. And it's still cute. It's a little childish kind of look, my little New Year pumpkin, I guess you could say. But at least I tried, and now I know a little bit better how to handle these things. So I'm stitching another one like a Halloween. So we'll see how that turns out. But I think that is all that I finished in 2024. So, you know, if you watched my whip parades and I have my plans for 25 video, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm hoping that in 25 I'll be able to do more finishes, maybe not FFOs but finishes, because I want to finish, since in 2024 I had a lot of new starts, and I'm still surprised myself that did I finish this? Yes, I finished this. Huh, missed one more piece. I'm like, it's sitting there. Why didn't I write out? I know that I finished in 24 because I marked it as in 24. That's why I mark it on the bottom when I finish. So it's another from a magazine, is Joyeux Noel, perhaps, or Joyous Noel. It's gonna be joined eventually by another pattern, which is like a reindeer. So it's like a more countrified Santa and the reindeer. The only things we're left to here is to attach Jingle Bell on his tip of a hat, and to make a star, which is looking like out of golden kid letter. So those things I need to attach to this, but and the ribbon also hanging off the pole where the star is going to be. But I think I'm going to be doing that once I finish stitching the second piece, companion. And it was shown in magazine as frame pieces and as pillows. So I don't know which one I'm gonna end up with, but there's lots of French knots in the back stitching here. So yeah, decided to like point at me with his eyes, say, you forgot about me, you forgot about me. So another thing that I finished in 24 because I marked it, I signed it on the bottom 2024. So I think that's definitely the last piece that I finished. And like I said, I don't know, still microphone on, I don't know how it's gonna be in 2025, but hopefully I'll have a good amount of finishes to show it to you too. So let me know in the comments below which was your favorite, and if you have any suggestions of any of those finished pieces, how to FFO it perhaps, and maybe have a link or something, or if you've seen it somewhere else. And I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I wish you all great 2025, and I hope we can see each other in the following videos. Until the next time, this was Jurgita saying bye-bye.